Good morning, this is Miss Becky. Today we're looking at art card activity number 4, making a figure. We're using Play-Doh, or you may draw your figures if you like. I'll show you how to do that as well. This morning I've started with just a little bit of Play-Doh. I had a small can left over from party favors from one of my grandkids' parties, and so it had just about this much Play-Doh. I've squished it really good, kind of work it to make sure it's good and soft and fully mixed together, and then I've rolled it like what we used to call in school cigars. You can see it's about the size of my thumb. That's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to start dividing it up into parts so we can make body parts, and we can make legs and arms and all kinds of other stuff too. All right, so I'm thinking about the middle, and I'm going to take not quite 1/4 off the top, and I'm going to just roll that into a little ball and set it aside, and that's going to be my head. So that might be too big. It's always a guesswork sometimes at how this stuff works. All right, I'll set that aside. That's going to be my head. All right, then I'm coming back to my little cigar shape here, and I'm going to divide it probably at 1/3. Instead of a half, I'm going to divide it about 1/3. All right, and this is going to be my body, the torso portion of the body. All right, so I'm going to roll that out a little bit, and you can see I'm kind of rolling right in the middle here. I'm rolling right in the middle because some of us have a waist. Some of us have been to the buffet too much and don't have a waist. But I'm just going to kind of put an indentation here so it kind of indicates there is a place where it should pinch in and come flare back out for the hip. So this is going to be my torso. And then I'm going to take this last piece here. I'm going to divide it in half. Probably not quite in half, but a little up from half. And this is going to be my arms. So I'm going to divide that in half and then half again. I'm going to divide this in half. This is going to be my legs. All right. So now I'm just going to make these long cylindrical type things, and if it's the legs, I always leave it just a little bit thicker at one end than the other, and you can do that just by pushing harder at one end and thin it back out a little bit more. I love playing with Play-Doh and clay. That's my thing. And you can come by and see my work at the Art Council building in Jessup, and buy a coffee mug for yourself. I got to make some more stuff because Christmas is coming up. All right, so I'm going to do the other leg the same way. See, and your legs are usually longer than your arms are, obviously, so that's why when you go to cut your clay, cut it not quite in the middle, but just a little bit further up so that your arms and legs aren't exactly the same size. Okay. Right, so there's my leg. I like to leave them with just kind of an angle, so you know it fits into the groin right there. All right, so think about that. And leave it with an angle too. So now I've got some legs with angles. I'm gonna roll out some arms, and I may have too much clay here for arms. Yeah, which I can go back and add that to my legs if I need to. And they're thinner because they're arms, obviously. Okay. All right, so now you remember that the Michelangelo statue, this is the last slide on our slideshow for this week, and also the Doryphorus, which is a Greek statue. It didn't show the slant of the shoulders quite as much, but you can definitely see that chiaroscuro, contrapposto in both those works. All right, so here's my torso. All right, I'm going to kind of round the shoulders off a little bit more. All right, I'm pinching it in a little bit at the waist, and I'm going to think about that angle that is going to be my contrapposto pose. So this is the side that is going to be the straight leg. So I'm going to put my leg, I usually adhere mine kind of to the side. Remember, I already fixed an area for a groin. And if you'd like to, you can use a little toothpick. If you think it's not going to hold, I'm going to turn the end up just a little bit so it indicates there's a foot. Ha! Can you see? It's beginning to look a lot like a person. And you can insert a toothpick if you want to. Just remember to take that out before you give it to your kids to play with. But I found the other day when I was doing my figure that if I didn't put a toothpick in, it tended to want to fall over, which is fine. If it falls over, just photograph it laying flat. That's fine. All right, I'm going to put my other leg on. Ooh, that's a stout little leg. All right, and you'll remember this is the leg that's supposed to be relaxed. So if your hip is already kind of jointed so that it looks like it goes over, I think I got too much Play-Doh. It does not hurt to pinch off a little bit more if you need to. All right, so this is the leg that's going to go on, and it's going to be the relaxed leg. So this one is going to hold the weight. That's going to push this side of the hip up. This one's going to be more relaxed. I give him a little foot so he has something to kind of counterbalance with. There we go. Just push the clay up a little bit and it'll counterbalance. Okay, so I think I have way too much and too much weight in the arms. I'm going to pinch a little off. So remember, if the hip is angled this way, then the shoulders need to be angled this way, right? So it's a counterbalance. So this is my relaxed arm because this is my working leg. This is my relaxed leg. So this is going to be my relaxed arm because it's over that working leg. So I'm just going to pull that arm around, pinch it right there at the elbow, bring it back to the leg so it looks like it's just resting there. Okay. A little bit too much right there. I'm going to pull that off. Whoop, too much. I pulled off too much. Okay, so I can always add it back. That's the beauty of Play-Doh. Yay! All right, and this is my working arm. So this is the side of the shoulder that should be higher. And I still have toothpicks sticking out, so I'm going to use that toothpick that's sticking out and put this higher arm that's working. It's going to wave at you. Hello, how are ya? All right, and then I can put my head on. So I have a complete little figure now. I don't know that he's going to stand on his own. He may not. Sometimes you can put a little wad of clay underneath so it looks like he's standing on a rock or something, and it'll help counterbalance him and hold him a little better. All right, so that's your figure in Play-Doh, and what we're looking for is a hip that goes in one direction, all right, and the counterbalance of that is the shoulders go in the other direction. Okay, I'm going to be back in just a moment, and I'm going to show you how to draw a figure. If you don't want to do the Play-Doh one and you'd rather do a drawing one, I'm going to give instruction on that too, but I'm going to take a minute to set up. So when you see this posted, it will be 2 different little videos. All right, so thanks. See you in a minute.